Welcome back to the Hillbilly RV channel. Scorcher this week. I think today's a little cooler than it has been, but holy crap, it's still hot. If you see me sweating, it's not because I'm under pressure, it's because I'm hot. This fifth wheel has 3 BAL Accuslide rooms. 2 of them have bad gearboxes. The one the customers knew about. The other they didn't know until I was here de-winterizing this thing last week, and I went to run the rooms in when I was finished, and this room broke too. This is a kitchen slide. Got the microwave, fridge, stove, entertainment center, fireplace. It's got it going on. Yeah, this room's probably way too heavy. The funny thing is, that room over there is the only one that is a flush floor, which is usually tough on mechanisms because when the floor comes in, it actually forces it up and then in. These other 2, the ones that are broke, are not flush floor. They just slide straight in and out. So let's get started on this one. I've already finished the other one. It was in the bedroom, no room. Better light, but no room to work. So let's get the fascia off real quick, and we can see the mechanism. Oh, I tell you what, before we do that, let me let you listen to it. It'll go out, so I'm going to try and run it in. You'll hear it just skipping and all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, don't that sound ugly? Alright, let's get started. Let's start by getting these fancy little star thingies off. They're just brad nailed on. With like a gazillion brads. Alright, got to get the center one off too. And then one on the other end. I'll just show you all the ends. How about that? Ta-da! Now, we got a piece of trim here that we need to get off because there's screws under it. Again, it's just brad nailed on. Just work our way across very, very gently so we don't break anything, because some of this trim is just irreplaceable. Oh, I should have left it stuck in the middle. Got both ends. There we go. Oh, you know what? This fascia is in 2 pieces, so I need to get this top trim off, at least on one side. Leave it on the other side of the way. Okay, now we can start to see the mechanism, the BAL Accuslide. All right, now we can see the mechanism. This one is just like the other one. I'm gonna try and get you a shot. You know the gearbox is bad when it's all swolled up. Yeah, it's bad. Like I say, the room will go out, but it won't come in. You know the funny thing is, the sun's on this wall. Everything on this wall is unbelievably hot. Unbelievably hot. Even the wall. So y'all wonder why you can't keep your camper cool in hot days. That wall's just smoking hot. So, and yeah, I could be running the air conditioners, but this thing's on like a 50-foot light extension cord. I don't like running air conditioners for very long on a long extension cord. It's just plugged into a 15 amp outlet. Chances are it would run, but on a day like today, it'd probably run for a little bit, and it's probably gonna kick a breaker in their house somewhere. So just to avoid that, I'm just working in the heat. That's all there is to it. Sometimes you just gotta man up and do the job. All right, move y'all over here. Maybe y'all can see what I'm gonna be doing. Gotta get all these anti-vibration blocks off. They're just they're just little styrofoam blocks. Slide on the adjuster nuts to keep them from unadjusting. But BAL calls them an anti-vibration block. I guess so the nuts don't vibrate off. I don't know. I didn't come up with a name. There's 2 on each adjuster. So you've seen me remove 6. Oh, now you've seen me remove 6. There's 2 more behind you I gotta take off. Nice little cubby right there to put them in. Cubby hole, put them in. So whenever I have a bad gearbox, I just buy a new motor. It's not that much more, and it's just easier. I always buy the high torque versions. These are the low torque. This one might be a high torque. I don't know, but it's getting a high torque back in. I very seldom ever see a high torque installed by the coach manufacturer. So I'm just going to start unadjusting cables here. Take you a pair of vice grips. Hold the smooth part of the cable. You're not on the cable. You're not on the threads. You're just on the smooth part of that cable. And we're going to start backing these off. What I'll do is I'll back these off. Like this one is a little bit short. So I'll back it off all the way and then just put it back on about 3 or 4 turns so the nut don't fall off. And we'll go here and do the same thing. Even this stuff, it's not even touching the wall. And you wouldn't believe how hot this stuff is. It's unreal. Okay, there's 4 of those brackets. There's 2 in, 2 outs. Let me zoom in just a little bit. There's 2 of them marked out, 2 of them marked in. Total of 4 brackets, total 8 cables. I'm gonna just go around and take the adjustment out of all the cables. I think I gotta go get me a ladder too, because it'd be real nice if I was about 3 inches taller right now. So I'm gonna go get my 4-foot step ladder. Just keep me from having to reach completely over my head. So yeah, I'll get all these loosened up, be right back. All right, got all the cables loose. Enough, maybe. we can go ahead and snip our wires off here at the motor. There's no power on these because there's nobody pushing the switch right now. Alrighty. The wires are attached to the wall. Let's get that off real quick. Just so we can get to those wires easier. Go ahead and put my Wagos on there. I got the larger Wagos for the big wires. I don't know what we did before Wagos. Wago connectors. And if you're interested in buying any Wago connectors, I've got them in my Amazon store. There's a link below in the description of this video. Go check out that. All kinds of good stuff in my Amazon store. Stuff that I use every day for working on campers. Stuff you might want to have if you're working on a camper. I don't know. I don't know if you want the stuff or not. Do yourself a favor when you're dealing with the Wagos and you're dealing with braided wire, wind them wires up real tight, and they'll go in the connector a lot easier. All right, now we got 5 lag screws that hold the motor and gearbox to the wall. Let me go get another tool. All right, let's get these lag bolts out. I wish you could feel how hot this stuff is. That's insane how hot this stuff is. I mean, we don't even have like, what is up with my camera? Well, we don't even have like Texas heat. Yeah, Oklahoma. It's not 110 degrees, but it's hot for us. Okay, let me lay this drill over here. Not hanging on my pocket. Let's see if we got this side loose enough to get that chain off. Man, we're so close. Okay, I had to do this on the other one too. I had to take these cables loose even more. And let's see here. Man, we're so close, yet so far away. Okay. All right, that cable come loose completely. And I'm gonna unadjust this one. Oop, that one come loose too. All right, I don't really want to do that. I want to leave at least one of them cables. I just don't want to get them mixed up. Okay. All right. What it is, I got the chain bound up. It needs to, there we are. Okay. So there we are. We're loose there. I'm gonna let this. We'll just let that hang. All right. Here is our brand new motor. Now this side over here is really easy. I guess you probably wouldn't even need to loosen the chain so much over here. So there's that one. Let me go grab that one that's hanging over here. Get this off here before it falls in the floor. See if we can get this chain back on there. Just make sure we get it on there right. There we are. Okay. All right. Go ahead and get this cable started back. Stick it through the bracket and start the nut. Let's go ahead and get our lag bolts back in the wall. Yeah. Couldn't get you to hold that screw for me, could I? It's about the most structure we ever find in a camper. Behind this BAL Accuslide motor mount. I don't know what they put in there, but them lag bolts always are in something good. Now, the fun one is it's back in there between the motor and the gearbox. Look at that, first try. All right, we can go ahead and make our motor connection here. The black and white wire is our positive, red wire. If you get these wires mixed up, the switch will just work backwards. No big deal. Come back up here when you're testing and you realize, oh crap, it's going the wrong way, and just switch your wires around. Salt water on my hands should help those connections today, wouldn't you think? I would think so. All right, we'll put my little wire holder thingy back on here, and then we'll start adjusting cables. That's always a good time. All right, be right back. I might wipe the sweat off my face a little bit too. Woo! Roasting here. Okay, it's time to start adjusting cables. Now, I can't show you this. I'll show you where. But down at the bottom of the room on both ends, there's two cables pull the room, or forked cables, two on each side that pull the room out, and the same amount pulling it in. Okay, when you're adjusting these rooms, first thing you do is adjust the bottom out cables. Now there's a bracket, and if you're doing this, you're not going to know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a bracket attached to the room that the cable goes to, and I forget what BAL calls those things, but what we're going to do is adjust the bottom out cables first. What we want to do is we want to physically look down there and make sure that plate goes up against that column, whatever they call their column, on both sides. And then we just kind of tension the other cables to match that. So, so the bottom end is over here on this side. See the bottom end bracket? All right, so bottom end, there's bottom, BTM, and top end. So let's start with this one. If you ever do this job, you're really going to want to have ratchet wrenches. It'll make your life a lot simpler. We just about out of adjustment on that one. Huh, that's odd. Never run out of adjustment on one of these things. Yeah, that's a first. Let me see how close we are. Okay, I'm gonna get right in our way. Put this bracket down here. Oh, gosh, what an idiot I am. I was telling y'all bottom in. Bottom out first. Holy crap. I'm adjusting the end cable expecting to go out. That's genius, ain't it? And no wonder it's out of adjustment. I just done one of these a half hour ago. You think I'd never done one in my life. Let's move to the bottom out, where we should have been. I swear, sometimes I feel like such a genius. Here I am, trying to show y'all how to do stuff. Now this is the bottom out, so this will kick the bottom of the room out, and we need to probably go a good 1.25 inches. That's how much the bottom of this heavy room come in when we release the pressure on these cables. Let me go look. We're still quite a ways away. Since this room is so heavy, I am going to adjust the bottom out on this side at the same time. Maybe it'll make maybe it'll take a little strain off that cable there. Okay, let's go back to the other side. Tell you what, if you ever go to BAL's website and watch them adjust one of their slide rooms, it ain't never going to be a kitchen slide full of appliances. It just won't be. So their videos are good, but they're not always real world. Now, I always keep this channel real. Always have, always will. Did y'all watch me do the exact same thing again? Adjusting the bottom in cable instead of the bottom out cable. So, alright BAL, I owe you an apology. It did adjust out perfectly with all this weight in it. Both the brackets are touching the columns. Now, I don't know if you want to watch me do the rest of this or not. Because I'm not sure y'all gonna learn anything at all. So now all we do is kind of adjust the rest of the cables to match those. So we're going to so we've done the bottom out on both sides. Now we need to adjust the top out on both those brackets until these brackets are straight up and down. I know it's a little hard to see from that angle, but it's leaning that way right now. We want it to be straight up and down, as straight up and down as possible. So we're just going to adjust the top out cable until that bracket is straight. Which is about right there. Alright, I'm going to go over here on the out and do this one this exact same way. Alright, now we're going to do the end cables, which is what I've been trying to adjust now since we started this project. Now's the time to do it, not when I was doing it before. And I don't think it matters whether you do the top or bottom first. Probably just going to start on the bottom because apparently I like that cable, because I really like to adjust it even when I'm not supposed to be adjusting it. This is just kind of a feel thing. I think BAL says that they want to see, I don't know, like a 1/2 inch of deflection in the cables when you do this. These over here are so short when you're doing this, I don't really know how you would even do that. When I did that other room in there a little bit ago, I ran the room in and out once and the end cables loosened way up. I had to go back and tighten them again anyway. So this is really just a preliminary adjustment. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. These brackets, not only do they need to be straight up and down this way, but they need to be straight up and down this way. Because these brackets will turn sideways like that. You don't want that to happen. Because when the room's going in and out, these brackets get very close to each other and they will collide, and then you got broken cables and more broken gearboxes and whatnot. So let's try to avoid that. So there's a jam nut right here. There's a center adjustment too, and there's a jam nut on it, and you just snug that jam nut up while the bracket's straight up and down, and then it should stay that way. Should. I don't think I've ever taken one of these apart, didn't find a couple of these jam nuts back like way off, because they just do. Because it's hard to get to them to snug them up. Okay, time to test. Zoom y'all out. Alright, y'all stay right here. Y'all watch everything. Dude, I'll zoom you in a little bit. Maybe not that much. Y'all can watch stuff slide around, slide past each other, and all that fun stuff. Well, it went in and out. I'm going to check my bottom brackets again, and they are excellent. See this cable loosened up, top in, bottom outs are of course going to be tight. Both these cables loosened up, end cables on both sides. So I'm just going to go snug those back up. Am I still zoomed in? Oh yeah. So yeah, did you see how loose the end cables got? So I'm just going to go back and snug all them back up, get the brackets straight, and then I'll run it in and out again, double, triple check everything, and this time put fascia back, and we'll get out of here. Get in some air conditioning. Air conditioning is awesome. Ran it in and out again, adjusted the cables again. We're gonna call it good. Got all my anti-vibration blocks on, all 8 cables. I'll start throwing some fascia back up here. You know how you ruin a hat in one day? By doing that to it. Yeah. Did I say it was hot? I think I said it was hot. When you have these brad nails like in a big clump, or if they put brad nails through a very dense piece of wood like that, let me show you the easiest way to get those brads out. Here's how I do it. I take my Milwaukee M18 angle grinder with a cutoff wheel on it. Now this is all hid behind the star, so we don't really have to worry about making marks. We just cut these bad boys off. Put your safety squints on, of course. That's how I deal with them bad boys right there. All right. Oh, put a little trim back up. We get this thing whooped. Just use my Milwaukee M18 brad gun, cordless brad gun. All right, do that with 1-inch brads. The stars I'm putting up with 1.5-inch brads. Brad nails, if you don't know what a brad is. There we are. There's about where it goes. Alright, now we do the other star, or whatever that thing is called. I just call it a star, because for whatever reason almost every one of the campers, that piece of trim has a star pattern in it. There we are. Now we can put the middle star up. So there you have it, folks. There is how not to change, whew, man, mercy, a gearbox and motor on a BAL Accuslide. I can't believe I just kept adjusting the wrong cable. I didn't do that in there. I thought, well, you know what? I'm gonna make myself look smart for once. So I practiced on that one, smooth as silk. Come in here and just keep screwing it up. So don't y'all get screwed up. Don't you get hot, sweaty, and bothered. Just get down in that comment section. Leave me a comment, a criticism, concern. Whew. I got about a half hour drive ahead of me to get my next job. I'm gonna try and cool off in my air conditioning. Y'all have a great day.